What is up, guys? My name is Magic the Greatening, and today I'm going to be giving you a black-white zombies deck. Everyone right now is trying to make this deck, and what I decided to do is just make it mostly black with a very few cards that are white. In fact, we're only playing 3 separate cards that have white in it for a total of 11 cards. 11 of the 40 in the main deck are going to be white. So first I'm going to give you this. It's a bit of a budget deck. It'll cost you around $30, and then I can tell you some of the upgrades you can make if you wanted to. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the 1-drops. And this is a third of the budget. These 6 cards are a third of the budget. We're going to play 3 copies of Cryptbreaker and 3 copies of Dread Wanderer. Cryptbreaker is one of the best cards in this deck, by far. It's absolutely insane. It gives you card advantage. You can make zombie tokens with it, which will be important later. And then Dread Wanderer is just a good body. You know, a 1-mana, 2/1 zombie that can keep coming back from the grave is perfect. Is exactly what we need. We don't need, Gisa and Geralf to be able to bring stuff back. This deck's pretty resilient in itself, so we'll play 3 copies all day. Let's get to the 2-drops, and we're playing 7 2-drops, and both have white in them. We're going to play 4 copies of Wayward Servant and 3 copies of Binding Mummy. Now, these are kind of game winners. I mean, they won't each win the game by itself, but together and over time, you will dominate. And you'll see why. Wayward Servant drains the enemy. It'll be hard for them to hit us. And then Binding Mummy taps down their creatures, and you have no idea how good that is with this deck. They basically will never have a creature up to defend against your zombie horde. So I had to play 3 copies. I didn't want to play 4. It seemed a bit much. I'd rather have some of the other things I have in here. But 3 copies is fine, and 4 copies of Wayward Servant is also fine. Let's get to the 3-drops. 3-drops. We're going to play 4 copies of Crow Dark Tidings, 4 copies of Diregraf Colossus, and 3 copies of Lord of the Accursed. Crow of Dark Tidings I'm putting in there just because it's a flyer, it's a zombie, it puts stuff in our grave. 4 copies of Diregraf Colossus because it creates zombie tokens for us, and if we have things in the grave, it'll make Diregraf Colossus bigger when we play it. It's perfect. Diregraf goes so well with Binding Mummy and Wayward Servant, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then Lord of the Accursed is just an Anthem effect. And it can give our zombies menace, which is absolutely brutal if you have a Binding Mummy out. So, yeah, watch out for that combo. And the last 2 creatures we are playing in the deck are 2 copies of Nooscraft Mob. A 6-drop, I know, but I can explain. If you can get one of these things out, and you have a Wayward Servant or a Binding Mummy, there's no stopping you. This thing just creates tokens after token after token after token. And if you already have a Diregraf Colossus out, things just get ridiculous. I know the Nooscraft token zombies don't trigger Diregraf, but you know, it's pretty insane once you have both Diregraf and Nooscraft, because every time you play another zombie, you're going to get 2 zombie tokens and get 3 triggers either from Wayward Servant or Binding Mummy, or both, if you have both out. So I wanted to play 2. I think now that the cat combo is gone, you will be able to play a 6-drop, but I'm only going to be playing 2 in this deck. On the spells, we're playing 14. We got to play some removal. We have to. We're going to play 3 copies of Murder, 2 copies of Never Return, and 3 copies of Time to Reflect. Murder, pretty explanatory. Never to Return, I wanted to play the full 4, excuse me. However, it's sorcery speed, and that can kill us. I didn't think it was actually too big of a deal since we're not really, a control deck. So I did want to still play the copies because the Aftermath can be nice if we have nothing in our hand or we have nothing else better to play than just create a 2/2 zombie, and it can exile a target card from their graveyard. It doesn't have to be ours. So, and then Time to Reflect, this is really, really good. This is like really good. If you're playing a deck that's playing like a green-red god deck, this is insanely good. This card is amazing. This and Grasp of Darkness just kill gods, just straight up. So we're not playing Grasp of Darkness, hence we're trying to be a budget deck. That is one of the upgrades you can make though. But anyway, Time to Reflect. Really underrated card so far. We'll see if it gets any play during the Pro Tour. For our last of our spells, we're going to play 2 copies of Liliana's Mastery. A 5-drop enchantment. I know. But it's another Anthem effect for our zombies, and it puts 2 creature token zombies out, which is really good, again, if you have a Wayward Servant and a Binding Mummy. So I didn't see why we couldn't do that. Onto the land, we're playing 23 lands. For our deck's going to be 63 cards. I don't like it being over 60, but I didn't see anything I could take out. So 63 lands, we're going to play 4 copies of Evolving Wilds, 8 plains, and 11 swamps. We are playing very, very heavy on the swamps, even though we're only playing like 11 cards that have white. But you do definitely want to see a white at all times. And the only things that have double black are Murder and Never Return and New Scrap Mob. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas of how to change this up a little bit, remember I'm trying to keep this a budget deck. Go ahead and post that in the comments. And if you like the video, click that like button and hit subscribe for more deck techs and like discussion videos and stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.